Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is Napoleon Total, and we're here with week 2 of our Manchuria campaign. This is actually day 8. If you haven't watched week 1, please do watch it, because if you haven't watched week 1, basically you don't know what the heck is going on. But let's get started. A lot of stuff in this region. I'm starting to focus on my economy now. In this region, I'm essentially just making these build artillery pieces. This, Taipei, Nanha, and all these provinces are going to be just building artillery. The type of artillery is just these essentially field cannons. And the reason why is because I can just spam them faster than I can produce them. Like this, for example. This artillery piece costs 3 hours. This SPG artillery costs 12 hours. Although the SPG artillery is better, this is 10 times cheaper, and not to mention the fact that the stats are pretty much the same, if not better. Obviously, you guys have to realize this. It takes 3 hours to produce this one. It takes 12 hours to produce this one. So I think the Type 90-75mm artillery level 1 is way better. Obviously, it does also mean that I will be researching artillery, moving down the line, level 3, level 4, yeah, as much as I can. But in terms of tanks, I think I maxed it all out, at least for now. In terms of military troop movement, oh yes, well, actually, there's another thing. My Manchukuo homeland, essentially these provinces, are just going to be focused on building, essentially, airplanes, and to be exact, is interceptors. And reason, well, as of right now, they're building tanks. But yeah, these three and these two provinces are going to be building airplanes. But all the provinces right here, up in the north, are just going to be spamming out tanks. Because I need tanks, I need them quick, and I need them fast. Because the United States, the southern United States, have loads of tanks. I kid you not, loads of tanks. So this is not going to be a good thing. Mexico is holding for dear life down in the south, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. The good thing for the South America coalition, which is essentially called South America Union, these guys, the Kentucky, Alberta, which have just recently joined, British Columbia, and South USA with Quebec, is the Federation. I kid you not, it's called the Federation. But that said, down south, these guys are completely controlling South America, except for some places here and there, like North Brazil, stuff like that. But the United States has the Federation has pretty much controlled all of North America, except for these two provinces of North Mexico and South Mexico. But as of right now, I am desperately trying to get my troops over there. As a matter of fact, I'm deploying one entire battle squadron with all their guns, equipment, and whatnot into there. But that's that. I do need to redirect some of my troops because these guys will be going for a big territory called right here. And the reason why I need to do that is because I'm preparing for the invasion of Alaska. My battle plan for the invasion of Alaska is I have 10 light tank troops storm through Seattle, Victoria, slowly move up north to Kamloops, take Vancouver last because we need that morale buff, send another 10 stack army of light tanks to Prince Rupert, take this province if I can, or I could split them in 5/5s. Send 5 right here, send 5 right here, but I need Anchorage, and to take Anchorage I literally need a full 10 stack, not because Anchorage is important, but I need the land connection, because these provinces can be linked. I think I do need an aircraft carrier right in this lake, right in this gulf, but yeah, but that could be potentially the British Columbia. My expectation is that the second Vancouver, which I will take last, falls. All these provinces up in the north are going to have morale issues really quick, really fast. Not to mention in down south, British Columbia's main army is pretty much in down south against Mexico. My real threat my bad, is actually not British Columbia. It's actually the entire North Federation. I already got promise from Alberta that he's not going to attack me if war breaks out, but Quebec and United States, South United States to be exact, I definitely do not have that guarantee. That said, North Mexico is holding out for dear God and dear Christ, so I will try to help them as soon as possible. But as of right now, everything is going just fine. I'm currently trying to produce as many tanks as possible, and after that, things will go potentially well. But that's it for today. I'll see you in day 9. Welcome to day 8. Welcome to day 9. Well, actually, it's 1 hour, exactly 1 hour before day 9. But anyway, a lot has been done. The invasion has finally begun. My battleships are bombarding the enemy positions. From what I know, there's no units in Seattle, Vancouver. There is a 6-stack army of motorized infantry in Kamloops. There is nothing in Prince Rupert. There is nothing in White House. There is I don't know what units, but I think they're commandos in this province right here. There's nothing in Anchorage, but there is a unit right here in Perryville, and Portland. There's an armored division, tank brigade to be exact, medium tank brigade. In terms of everything else, South United States is already finally at the border with South Mexico. They're gonna duke it out. I'm already sending Australia to send help with blockading this part and this part. In terms of Pakistan, Sichuan and Mongolia are preparing to invade Pakistan because, well, they've decided to invade. Pakistan decides to invade, and we are now currently bombing the heck out of the Pakistani army of the 28th Heavy Tank Division. That is essentially a lot of units. But in terms of everything, I'm starting to move a lot of stuff to east, and the second I get here, I really need to start building stuff in British Columbia, because, well, I do need their tank facilities, and so those things are more than important. Not to mention the fact that, essentially, if I get reinforcements from Manchukuo, that's going to take a long time, and might as well just be here. But that is it. The invasion has begun. I'm sending a lot of troops to Anchorage, Staley, Prince Rupert, Vancouver, and Seattle. After those cities are done, I'm going to hit the airfields. I don't know what to deal with this army yet because my artillery has not arrived, and what air force I do have is not really impressive. Some of my planes are getting destroyed. From I don't know what they are. But that said, I don't think British Columbia is active yet. But when he's active, it's not going to look pretty. But that said, yeah, that's it. For now. Hello. Welcome to day... Well, day part 2 of day 9. As you can see, what I am doing in, British Columbia is that I'm retreating. And the reason why I'm retreating is because Alberta decided to, no, we're gonna help British Columbia, and they didn't want me out. But Alberta promised that, they're eventually gonna join us, so I'm deciding to pull out. Do I think this is a trick? Yes. Actually, yes and no. If it's a trick, I am gladly accepting it because, one, if this is a trick, it can work in my favor. Because I only took in less than 1,000 casualties, while I inflicted 16,000 casualties on British Columbia. That is some pretty insane casualty rates, not gonna lie. And considering the fact that that was a human player, I'm actually impressed by myself. But that said, I can potentially invade North America, like via New Orleans, with my battleships. The South America does not have any navy. Quebec could be potentially invaded from Quebec itself, and there's nothing I can do about it. Day 10 is a little the same, considering the fact that I recorded these 2 days with no audio in mind, so you're seeing the after effects. Alberta decides to say, yeah, you know what, you can invade. I'm not gonna stop you, so I'm gonna be invading again, or I'm gonna prepare for the invasion. Any invasion of the South USA is gonna be thwarted because I know what South USA has. He has a lot of good stuff, but most of those stuff are useless compared to mine because I have just straight outright better stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be sad. 7 artillery, 15 light tanks, and 1 stack in New Orleans is pretty interesting, but Henry has moved his capital to Lubec, and Quebec is getting interesting. Alberta has taken a lot of land, and he says he's gonna join us against South USA. Eventually, yeah. And South Africa decides to join the, what do you call it? The Federation, which is South USA, Quebec, Alberta, and South Africa. And yeah, that's it. In Europe, the situation is no good for us either, but yeah. Eventually, the situation in Europe is going to devolve quite badly. But as we are moving troops across the Pacific, our troops are starting to get ready for the invasion of British Columbia again. So this is kind of interesting. But as we can see, we have a lot more ships this time. We have a lot more stuff this time. We have a lot of everything. As you can see, some of my ships are moving down south, but I am more than prepared to do stuff down up north. Because I know for certain that British Columbia does not have a navy. British Columbia has kind of a joke navy, so I'm going to be sending a lot of my ships up into the Gulf of Florida to see what I can do. And not to mention the fact, as of right now, I'm currently just bombing the heck out of British Columbia. I am going to get some strategic bombers into British Victoria, and the second I get those strategic bombers into British Victoria, I'm just going to bomb the heck out of every city that I see. Our troop transports are able to move at a quick rate because I've been researching troop transport, so that's pretty good for us. But in terms of everything else, that is pretty much for today. I'll see you in day 11. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to day 11. And today we literally have just invaded the United States. British Columbia again. This time we are somewhat supported by Alberta, so that's a good thing. There's only one problem to that, is the South United States. Good thing for us is that the South United States is at war with a multiple front army, which is essentially this. Although from the looks of it, it looks like South Argentina and South Mexico and North Argentina, although South Mexico is just pretty much done for. North Argentina and South Argentina are trying to hold for dear God right into Panama, so that's gonna be hard for them. But from what I have, I know they have 100% air superiority in the area. I do have a fleet right here, but the problem is that the United States is just going to be spamming out submarines, and as of right now, I actually don't have a way to deal with them because I do not have naval bombers in this fleet, because prior to a few days ago, my military intelligence told me that the only thing that he has in the vicinity was naval bombers, so I decided only to send in the interceptors, and that's because I wanted to do some amphibious landing in New Orleans and onto Miami. Obviously, that didn't work out because, you know, he's spamming out submarines. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. But in terms of here, yeah, just a spam of submarines essentially. There is an extremely hard way. It is extremely hard for me to deal with these, except for essentially getting destroyers. But in terms of our invasion, our guys are level. In terms of level, we are level 4 light tanks. That means our guys are gonna have some pretty good buffs when moving across land. The only downside is the fact that well, there's multiple downsides. The only downside is the fact that well, I have no idea why he did. I realize. Interesting. We have to attack. I'm trying to destroy most of the enemy armies on the ground, which is hopefully a good thing. But yeah. It looks like it's not gonna work, which is really unfortunate. But that said, we are able just to run through these provinces. Like I've said, Alberta is essentially an ally at this point from what I assume it's an ally. There's the British Columbian Army right here, but that's not a big threat. It's 4 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 light tanks. This one unit of 29th Artillery Division is able to deal with it. If it does not, I literally have another army right here and I can deal with it. But that's that. Also I do have fighters and bombers and whatnot. So, and I have another army right here. So if that does not deal with it, yeah. And not to mention the fact that they're moving a different direction. So that's interesting. In terms of everything else, I do have Sand Island, or basically Midway, and I'm preparing to invade it, but not yet. And the reason why not yet is because I have a lot of provinces that are not happy towards me. The only way I can make them happy is essentially capturing a capital, which Midway is essentially a capital, so I'm going to be using that. And yeah, I am getting a lot of spies, but the problem with spies is the fact that I do not have that much money. As a matter of fact, I spent a lot of it on spies, so that's really unfortunate for me. But from what military intelligence I do have, it's gonna be rough. I am more than willing to camp out in the Panama Canal, and yeah, I do have some units here and there that I can potentially use to make surprise attacks all across the enemy lines. We do have some... we do have 5th Submarine Squadron from the US. But however, the big thing that I want to take out is essentially these 2 ports. These 2 ports are just spamming submarines, and if I can take those 2 ports out, I stand a pretty good chance of gaining complete naval superiority and having to not deal with those pesky submarines, at least on this side of the world. Which, let's be honest, is not that hard, considering the fact I have overwhelming numerical superiority. But yes. British Columbia has just troops left and right. I have no idea what he's doing, but whatever he is doing, I hope he makes the best of it. And the reason why you see Alberta having troops right in British Columbian settlements is because he's preparing to betray British Columbia, and that's why he has troops here, 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 and probably, no, here. So that's why he's gonna do it quick. But yes. That's that. And I think I'll see you in the next day. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 12. Yes, day 12. In terms of armies, we have actually just smashed through the British Columbian Army. And as a matter of fact, the British Columbians decided, yeah, well, no, we're gonna be essentially AFK. They're inactive now, so that's a good thing. For those who I didn't tell you guys, what happened was because you see the morale up, and that's mainly because when I was invading British Columbia, I also invaded Sand Island, or Midway Island, and I was just kind of camped out of Midway Island. I had this one unit here, and since Sand Island is essentially a capital, I just camped outside, and when I had all of these provinces under control, I took the capital, and that instantly gave me a morale boost. So that is something to take in mind. As of right now, I'm actually interested in storming into the United States. My espionage agents have told me quite a lot. The United States is just stacking in their capital, 24 light tanks of level 1 and 13 artillery pieces, and that is in their capital. In the Pacific, all these little circles that you see are patrols of, I kid you not, naval bombers. All these are submarines fleets right here, so any naval invasion is impossible. And yeah, a lot of troops all across. In Mexico, the situation is even crazier. 27 light tanks, 1 attack bomber, but that's that. As of right now, what am I doing? Well, as of right now, I'm deciding to go for Mexico. I want to invade through Mexico, and the reason is simply because Mexico has a lot of resources, and I could potentially cut off Argentina's, the Argentina's, depending on which one you look at. But in terms of actual armies, I'm actually getting all these units up to level 4. light tanks. So these guys are going to have extremely fast buffs. And not to mention, all these provinces, they don't have troops in them. So I'll be getting a lot of resources real quick and real fast. But that's it for right now. I'll see you later. Welcome to day 13. In terms of, well, this is our map right now. In terms of the land, we have all of Alaska, essentially. As a matter of fact, at Alaska, oops, my bad. At Alaska, we actually have set up airports, so now we can actually deliver troops to the front lines, at least airplanes to the front lines. In terms of Seattle and Kamloops, those two have unfortunately fallen to Alberta, but the second war with North America, i.e. South USA, is over. We're gonna go for them. In terms of military supplies, we have the exact same composition of military supplies, except for some of them have been died. Yeah, so this is really unfortunate. Some of them have died, so that's really unfortunate. But that said, a lot of their enemy, South USA's armies have been discovered. Another good thing is that, because of those aren't discovered, I am realizing the South USA is just gonna bunch up. So, thanks to ads, so I'm gonna just be producing these, rockets. For those who don't know, this is this is aircraft transport, of course. But the one that I'm actually producing is this thing, the flying bomb. It's the Yokosuka MXY7. And for those who don't know what the heck this thing is, this is essentially a suicide man attack aircraft. Essentially, during the Second World War, the Japanese were using suicide aircraft. And these ones were specifically built for suicides. And as a matter of fact, these things were actually had a massive explosive in front, and these things were essentially a massive kamikaze sent to go after enemy capital ships, like carriers and battleships. Mostly carriers at that point. But in terms of land gains, I told the United States that the United Kingdom wants me to declare war on as in South USA. So the reason why I'm invading him is because I just want I wanted to give the UK impression that I'm attacking. Obviously, that entire thing was BS because there is no such thing, and because the only reason why I want to invade him is because I want land. but it's called diplomacy, guys. But yeah, I've tricked him into giving me Las Vegas, Los Angeles, to Juna, and Grand Junction, Salt Lake City, Rock Springs. And without recognition, I just took all these wonderful provinces. The South USA is moving back, but I'm deciding whether I should go for Mexico, because Mexico is empty. Very, very empty. And it has a lot of resources, and potentially I can stop North Argentina from coming down north. So that's a pretty good thing. Ads. But in terms of the Navy, there is no way in heck I'm even going to compete with the South USA's Navy. Their Navy is just a bunch of ships, subs, everything. Like, look, all these dots, once again, for those who haven't watched the... Oh, actually, no, you have to watch the last pit, Bart. These little dots are every surveillance by Navy. The good thing is that I'm well within range to use my torpedoes, well, actually, no, man-human suicide bombs, against the enemy. So that's a fairly good thing. Just have to get more of these guys to the front lines. And I think I can, yeah. A new batch is going to be coming up right now. And also, another thing for those who you guys don't know, these are extremely cheap to build. The only problem is trying to upkeep these guys with stuff. But yeah, that's that. I think I have a... No, well, no, this is the airport. This is the airport. Okay, good. But there are just massive stack armies around the field, so I am gonna eventually build airports here and there. So yeah, that's gonna solve the problem. And no, I'm actually building them right here, so that's good. Yeah, because this one is within range of this, and this, I think. But yes, the only problem with this airfield is that it's pretty close to the enemy lines. But in order to reach all these cities, you kind of have to be close to the enemy lines. But that is it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Napoleon, and welcome to day 14 of our Manchuria campaign, and today we have a lot of stuff going on. First off the bat is that I've ceased to believe that South USA has become my enemy, and the reason is simply because South USA has decided, you know what, there's a bigger threat, and the bigger threat is down south. Literally down south. One second, let me redirect some units after that. I will try my best. As you can see, there's a lot of troop movement going down south. I have deployed spies to the enemy. Well, this is some random province. It's Alajitri, and what I've done is basically found out they have this many armies, which is kind of terrifying. Who is messaging me? North Argentina. This is true, by the way. South USA did say that he was going to invade me, and I was trying to be secure. Also, I did find a lot of stuff. Yeah. His army is pretty... South Argentina's army is pretty massive. Straight outright massive. A lot of his units are on the coast, which is kind of interesting considering the fact that his navy is quite poor. Like, he has one submarine at level 2. All of his units are essentially level 2. Which is good and bad. Some of my units are pretty high up there. Like, it's their max. Well, they're level 4 for my light tanks. And my battleships are mostly level 1, with some being level 2, of which they're mostly here. My carriers are level 2, and, yeah. And my aircraft is max level. Interceptors are max level. And, yeah, that's that, essentially. In terms of everywhere else around the world, we haven't been looking at Sichuan, but Sichuan has decided to go straight for Pakistan, and he just blew open the hole in Pakistan, storming through here, and now he's looking straight at Italy. Yes, Italy. Italy has a railway gun. He has pretty interesting units. He has level 1, all troops are level 1, but Sichuan, like me, has literally the exact same unit composition. He has level 4 light tanks, but he has level 3, infantry, motorized infantry, get away with the ads. He also has a pretty decent artillery force, and he has pretty good interceptors and planes and bombers and whatnot. So his guys are pretty terrifying, if you ask me. So Sichuan is no joke. Mongolia also has gotten some stuff from Pakistan, and he is also preparing to deploy his troops. Obviously, we see all of that. The only person I have an option against is literally Vulgar Perm. I have no idea whatsoever what he is doing. Like, he's only building fortifications and stuff, but the problem is, like, we're trying to get him to attack. He's like, no, we're not gonna attack, and it's like, you serious? You're not gonna attack? Then what are you doing? You're just pulling back to your core. You're just gonna wait for them to attack you, and then you're gonna do something. But at that point, it's like, why would you even bother? Well, what are you doing? At least Mongolia is moving troops to the Swedish border. Just do something. Like, and yeah. But South USA and I have gotten friendly because, well, I respect South USA as an ally now. Because he gave me all this land for taking no casualties. It's like 2,000 for all this land, which is impressive considering the fact that during that time, it just allowed all my forces to grow in strength. Argentina, Alberta, I don't know what is going on with Alberta, but whatever is going to happen, I hope South USA joins the coalition, is what I'm trying to say. He can take Alberta and Quebec, because, one, there's 2 reasons why I'll allow him to do it. There's 2 reasons why. One, because my capital, Harbin, is so far away that any type of military unit I have to send, I have to go through the ocean. I might as well just produce units in Vancouver and stuff, which I am producing medium tanks, which is like my tier 2 unit because, well, for those who play Shogun 2, you automatically get this reference. Like, my light tanks are my Nodachi Samurai, and my medium tanks are like my Katana Samurai. They're not good, but they can hold a line because of their numbers. But that said, Yeah, because the reason why I want South USA to go out taking Alberta and Quebec, I do want some provinces, like I want Seattle, Caltrops, maybe Edmonton, because I just want a straight line all across the field. And the reason why I want him to take that, because there is no way in heck that these provinces will be happy. Look at my provinces down north that I just taken. Like, this is, I put an army in here, and it's, 29 morale. And the reason why is because, one, days from the capital is 3.8 days from the capital. Neighbors, negative 25. Expansion, minus 7. So, because my capital is so far away, which is one of the big reasons, there's no way in heck I'm going to properly manage these provinces, at least not in the short time. There are some provinces right next to us that literally has essentially good stuff. But, yeah. I could potentially also invade the South USA, but I don't know what to do. As of right now, I can, as a matter of fact, I don't, because the reason why is I don't want to invade anyone, but I want to invade someone, and the reason is because, well, I can't just let any one of these Alberta, Quebec, Alberta, and South USA to get stronger, nor can I allow North Argentina, South Argentina to get stronger, because that's just going to be a pain in the ass to deal with, eventually. And not to mention the fact that Indochina, Australia have been essentially doing nothing. Australia is preparing troops for South Africa. And the big question is, why the heck are you preparing troops for South Africa when you can literally invade South America? Like, literally, it's like he's in probably the strongest position in terms of the invasion of South America. He can literally invade through here, take all of this land, start moving up, because you have to realize, well, he doesn't see this, but I can tell him that. North Argentina has literally nothing here, most of his stuff is right here, and not to mention the fact that there's two capitals. Like, two capitals in less than a day's march. Here and here. Those two capitals are going to just destroy these two's morale, and then eventually, if time wills it, I'm going to sweep one with South America if he decides to join the coalition, and we're going to just destroy South Argentina and North Argentina. But yeah, and the entire continent is ours. Hopefully that works. But yeah. Elsewhere, I'm still number one. Upper Volta is level number 2. 3 is number 3 is Dejuden, Sichuan. 4 is North Argentina, which is one of the big reasons why I have to get rid of him. And Western Australia is number 4, which is kind of funny considering the fact that besides all these military expansions, he hasn't done much. And I'm pretty sure he's wanting to expand somewhere. But that is it for this episode, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Now before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.